Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Lex Gray here. This is session 12 of Wolf. Now we enter the next arc called Past Echoes. We're going to focus on Wolf's backstory, searching for his childhood and his parents if they are still alive. So this is where we left off. This was the last session notes here, and we have moved on to the new arc. So let's do a story hack which will be kind of guiding the next session for exploration and possibly some twists down the road. And the format for our Crutch AI's response has changed to this, so context and then GM notes. All right, let's begin. Story hack. Wolf and Jory are searching the village for anything that can remind Wolf of his past. The portal they came through is closed. Okay, so Wholf, remember that's his name, just Wolf is better translated for the AI. Okay, so looks like Wolf and Jory begin exploring the charred ruins of Wolf's childhood village, hoping to find clues about his forgotten past. The portal to the Dark Realms has completely sealed behind them, and then the village is structurally unstable but emotionally resonant. Searching these ruins may reveal ancestral items, burnt records, or echoes. The role overcome obstacles, create advantages, or empathy, lore to struggle, emotional, psychic flashbacks. Okay, let's see, we have Wolf here. Let's do a empathy roll. Now we can actually compel, let's see, I don't miss a thing, touched by the Forgotten Realms. Let's try that. One night survivalist in search of meaning. All right, let's do that. How about if you invoke Wolf's high concept, nomadic survivalist in search of meaning? That will probably make for some good drama. Wolf and Jory continue investigating the ruins. Wolf invokes his high aspect to ground himself. Okay. By invoking Norman, Wolf gains +2 of the roll, invoking. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I meant condemn, compel. Yeah, that's my mistake. I think compel is going to work better. If we can accept the compel. Okay, so triggered. Okay, so compel accepted, which means I gain a fate point. Wolf is drawn toward an unstable structure that resonates with emotional weight, perhaps a burnt down home or collapsed temple. The need to uncover his past overtakes caution. Gain 1 fate point. The next obstacle will carry heightened risk and physical and emotional. Proceed when ready. Okay, so Wolf approaches the structure cautiously. Got some spelling errors, but I don't just really don't care. Okay, compelled by his own drive to uncover meaning, Wolf cautiously approaches a burnt, half-collapsed structure deep in the ruins. The air here is still, the ash is thick, the place matters. The structure is unstable, with scorched timbers above and charred stone beneath. This means this may have once been a home, or perhaps a meeting hall. If you wish to investigate safely, you may roll overcome actions and careful, or the base difficult affair. Failure may trigger. Oh, careful is actually fate accelerated. We are using fate condensed rules. I did add the capability of using rules from Fate Accelerated to the engine, so that probably what got it mixed up. Appropriate skill to overcome typically athletics, notice, or lore. Let's do notice. Well, actually, if Wolf is kind of entranced by some past memory, I don't think he'll be too environmentally aware of the surroundings. So let's do lore. We'll do lore. So let's get our dice. We're doing a lore, which is +2. Okay, so we got 2. Tied roll of 2 with lore. Okay. Wolf ties the lore roll with attempting to overcome the unstable structure that assesses its significance. A tie and an overcome roll means success at a minor cost. Wolf successfully navigates the unstable area and finds a half-buried, scorched wooden plague carved with familiar and traits. However, the shifting ash triggers a brief inhalation suit, making scene a spectacle. Irritated lungs, available for future compels. Okay, you may create an advantage to examine the plague or search within. Wow. So, half-buried, scorched wooden plaque carved with unfamiliar. Interesting. Let's see. Can Jory assist with examining the plaque? Okay. Okay. I modified my stunt to simplify them because it was getting a little irritating for them to always be breaking off to the right there. So that's that. Now, okay, Wolf has uncovered a scorched wooden plaque. He calls on Jory to assist with examining for meaning. Jory, yes, Jory may provide support by creating a temporary boost or adding +1 to your next action. If you roll to create an advantage of lore, Jory's help will apply automatically. Declare if you're invoking any aspect and proceed the roll. Okay, so we are going to be doing another roll of lore. Let's see. Yep, lore roll with a +1, and I'd say, yes, that's it. So we have +3 in this roll. 3, okay. Total of 3 rolled. All right. Oh, sorry, guys. I have the audio up from the dinging sound. Turn that off. With George's assistance, Wolf examines the scorched plaque using lore and rolls a total of 3. Success, the plaque reads a fragmented phrase. To the child of Ember, below that, the initials TW and AW are partially visible through burnt marks. Joy recognizes the name Ember as an ancient regional name, long buried and used by older forest settlements. A scene aspect is now in play, whispers of Ember lineage. You may investigate further or attempt to connect this discovery to your past. Interesting. Investigate further. All right, let's do a story hack. Story hack. While the party is in this structure investigating the plaque, there is a monumental battle horn heard in the distance. Okay, want to throw some potential conflict here. As Wolf and Jory decipher the Ember plaque, a deep ancient war horn echoes from the hills beyond the village ruins. Story hack accepted. A new scene aspect enters play. The horn of return has sounded. Its tone is low and resonant, neither hostile nor celebratory, but summoning. The direction points east toward the overgrown highlands beyond the burnt tree line. The moment presses urgency may overcome the shock. Create an advantage by locating source confront with Jory. Okay. Is going to run outside and take a look in the direction of the sounds. Story hack. They see a line of five or so scouts on horseback at the top of the hill, one with the horn. All right, so I'm thinking these might be. I have no idea who these could be, but I don't want to spoil it just yet. Wolf rushes outside to locate the source of the horn and sees five mounted scouts silhouetted at the hill's crest, one lowering a massive war horn. Story hack accept a new scene aspect. Riders from the Emperor watch. Their posture is cautious but not hostile. The rider of the horn stares directly at Wolf, though it's unclear if it's mutual. You may tend to notice or empathy roll to read their intent. Let's do. Let me do my stunt here. Hunter's patience. Well, actually, it's kind of a we're kind of on edge right now, so I don't think that would apply. Let's take a look at our invokes or aspects. Don't miss a thing. Touch my forgotten realms. Nothing really that applies here. Let's do notice. Wolf will do a notice roll in attempt to spot these five mounted scouts, and Jory perhaps can assist. Wolf attempts to notice roll. Okay. Roll notice and then plus one bonus. Difficulty is fair. Determine whether the posture is aggressive. Okay. We'll do a notice roll plus one and then a plus two for notice, which is going to be plus three total. Another mediocre. Okay. So we have three. A total of three rolled. Three rolled. Wolf, aided by Jory, observes the five scouts atop the ridge and rolls a total of three on this notice check. The scouts are not arrayed in a war posture. Their weapons are sheathed, and the horn bearer holds a banner shaft wrapped in a faded crimson. One scout carries a small satchel or parcel at their side. Their attention is fixed squarely on Wolf as if they had been looking for him. The group begins to ascend the hill and at a cautious pace. They prepare, speak first, or observe silently. Ooh, okay, so they know we're here. All right, so here we go. This is my idea. Story hack. These five individuals are part of a local clan or faction of sorts that maintain rule over this area and have so since Wolf's childhood. Yet it is unknown if they are responsible for the destruction of this village. That will have to be discovered momentarily. They are cautious as they arrive, not knowing who Wolf is just yet. But they are the dominant race in this area region. All right, that should be a good start. I want to throw that these guys could mean business, but are not hostile just yet. The five riders approaching are part of a dominant regional faction that has ruled this land since the begin before the destruction of Wolf's village. Their intentions are unknown, and their connection to the fire remains a mystery. A new situating aspect enters play. Riders of the Ember Dominion. They are cautious but composed, familiar with Wolf's identity. Their leader, unfamiliar. Their leader, an older rider with the horns, slows at the front. He may speak, wait, or attempt to create an advantage with a posture, reputation, or recognition. Okay. I will remain still and composed with my weapons sheathed, and Jory will do the same. We will not say anything until they approach. All right, so weapons down, I probably should say. Wolf and Jory stand silently with weapons lowered as the first Ember Dominion riders descend the hill approach the edge of the village. The riders slow their pace. The leader, scout, a weathered figure in red stitched leathers, halts just outside the striking range. His eyes sweep the ruins and settle on Wolf. This place is forbidden grounds. You stand on ash claimed by Ember law. Who are you to walk it? A tense moment follows. No weapons drawn yet, but the tone is one of authority, not welcome. You may respond, attempt to deceive, or hold your silence. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if Jory actually knows this guy, just to have some fun here. So, story hack actually knows the main writer, though through reputation, not personally. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. The lead Ember writer demands Wolf's identity. Jory quietly recognizes the writer through reputation, though they've never met. Story hack accept the new boast is available, recognized by Jory, one free invoke. Jory whispers to Wolf, "That's Ren Hayden, old veteran of the Ember Keep, known for holding the old borders. A burning what breaks them, and burning what breaks them. You may now create an advantage using report or provoke the knowledge and choose to engage him directly through dialogue." Okay, I will invoke that boost and have Jory speak on my behalf. Also, I will intervene, explaining where we came from, mentioning the portal if needed. Okay, so invoke the boost. Allows Jory to address where Hayden ran Hayden first, followed by Wolf offering context. Ren Hayden of Emberkeep, we come in peace. My companion bears no blade here. He may be from this very soil. Ren's eye narrows. Before he can reply, Wolf calmly explains their arrival, mentioning a sealed portal, received strange events in the region. Recent strange events. Ren dismounts slowly, traveler with no name, standing in the graveyard of fire, claiming to step through forgotten doors. This is a tale the Emperor Court will want to hear. You may attempt to create an advantage, respect earn, cautious cure. Okay, so do I have anything? No objects. I don't have the compass anymore. I don't have a journal anymore. Okay, so let's see here. Wolf takes a step forward, thanking Jory for the introduction, and explains briefly about what transpired in the Dark Realms and their search for Wolf's past and his parents, also asking what happened here, as he believes this is where birthplace. This is his birthplace. Okay, so I speak directly to him, recounting the past of the Dark Realms, return to the ruins, birthplace, search for answers. Ren listens carefully, silent until Wolf finishes. A murmur starts among the other riders. The scout with the satchel leans toward Ren, whispering. Finally, Ren speaks. You're not the first to come here chasing ghosts, but none have crossed back from the mere place until now. He pauses. What happened here isn't spoken of, it perhaps it's time. He gestures toward the satchel. We ride with Ember Watch. The court may grant audience. You'll come if you want truth. The temporary aspect enters play. Offer passage to Ember Watch. You may not accept. Okay. Well, I say we accept. Wolf is eager to continue exploring this site, but is insisted by Jory that they accept and follow the Ember Watch. Wolf hesitates, wanting to continue exploring the ruins. Joy urges him to accept the offer and follow the Ember Watch riders and uncover the deeper truths. Your internal conflict creates a scene boost, unfinished ashes, representing Wolf's need to return here one day, where Wolf watch silently, then nods once you agree as you follow. Mount up if you have the strength. It's a day's ride north. Two riders dismount, offering horses. The group begins forming a quiet procession. The road to Emberwatch begins at dawn. You may speak further with Ren and Lilith and prepare for a new chapter. Okay, so let's say, let's have a dialogue while we ride on the way to the Ember Watch. Okay, we join the ride scouts a day-long journey north toward the Ember's court stronghold. As the group rides beneath gray skies, Ren Hayden moves closer to Wolf's horse. He speaks with gruff curiosity. You say you came from the mirror realm and walked out with your mind intact. You carry something, don't you? Something it didn't take. He eyes you for a long time. If that place whispered to you, then it may still follow, has it? You may respond openly, guard your truth, turn the conversation toward your origins. Should I compel my carry the burden of others, similar to, related to Edwin? Ren questions whether the Dark Realms still follow Wolf as they ride. You propose a compel of your trouble aspect. Okay, wow, we have five fate points. Wolf cannot help but respond. Not only does he carry the memory of Edwin, but he also bears the guilt of surviving where others did not. Wolf's reply exposes emotional weight. Something did follow me, but it wasn't a monster, it was a man, my mentor. He died trying to bring me back to where I began. Now I carry what he couldn't finish. Then Ren rides silently beside you for a while longer and then quietly. Then the burden's real. The court will sense it. A new aspect enters the scene marked by memory. You may invoke it in Ember Watch, or may it be used against you. Okay, so intervenes and asks Ren what caused the destruction of that village. And noticing the lands around the area, the region, appear dead. No vegetation, no life, just darkness and clear skies. As the group rides toward the Emerald Watch, Joy questions Ren directly about the destroyed village and the lifeless state of the surrounding land. Ren does not answer immediately. He scans the horizon, then says without looking back, some places burned too hot to recover. That village, it wasn't just fire, it was cleansing. Ordered by the old court before my time, he pauses. They said a blight grew there, magic no one could control. I've read the orders, words like containment, ritual failure, infected soil. He looks at you both. They buried the truth, Wolf. You walked through smoke trails they hoped would never rise again. A new aspect enters the arc, cleansed by fire, not forgotten. To me investigate this angle further. Let's see. Asks him, so what of my family, the village people? Why were they sacrificed for this? Wolf presses Renhaden about the fate of his family and the villagers, demanding answers about their sacrifice and of containment. Ren exhales through his nose, then reins tightening in his hands. That's the part the records don't speak of. His tone shifts, less official, more worn. Names were blacked out, whole line stricken. Whatever had happened, the court didn't want it traced. He looked straight ahead. But someone kept something. That's why you're being brought in. Not to answer questions, he glances at you again, but because someone's already asked them about you. A new boost is generated, named in the archives. You may invoke this during future interaction with the court officials. Okay, interesting. I like how this is going. Let's do a slight time jump and approach the area we have been traveling to. After a day's ride until under dense skies and heavy thoughts, the group approaches the gates of Emberwatch, a towering black stone fortress nestled in a scorched ridge. The walls are etched with glowing, warding runes and old banners of crimson gray. Soldiers atop the battlements eye you cautiously. The gate opens without ceremony. The court envoy awaits, Rob silent and with parchment scroll in hand. Wolf of Ashward. You are summoned under a deck to testify regarding the ruin of Ember Village. The soldiers begin to escort you inward. You may speak to Jory, resist the summons, prepare for what lies ahead. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna say, is Jory welcome inside? At the gates, Wolf summoned the door to testify. You were standing behind some. Okay. He is not named in the edict. You may enter, but not accompany in the tribunal. Jory mutters to Wolf, it smells like a sealed chamber. They might want you alone in front of whoever's really pulling the strings. A scene aspect enters play. Tribal will judge alone. You may request Jory to wait, prepare a plan, or speak with it envoy further. Whispers to Jory to ready that magic staff of his in case things go bad. As Wolf prepares to enter the chamber, he quietly instructs Jory to keep his enchanted staff ready in case of trouble. Jory nods once, tapping the staff again against his boot. A subtle charge hums to its core. Don't take too long in there. If anything smells off, I'll be close, even if you don't want me to. The temporary bench created. Jory on alert. Okay, that's good to know. A lot of the aspects I ignore, except for ones that really are more of an assist for from character to character. One free invoke. All right. The court doors creak open. A long hallway of dark iron and candlelight awaits. You are led toward the inner chamber. Enters the chamber, arms by his side, unaware what is about to unfold, but ready all the same. Wolf enters the tribunal chamber with Emperor Watch, armed only with this resolve. The walls are carved obsidian, the air thick with expectation. At the far end of the chamber sits a semicircle of robed figures, their faces obscured by ceremonial mask and burned wood and ash-etched iron. A single voice emerges. You have stepped from the mere place. You walk in forgotten ash. You carry names the fire was meant to erase. Other adds. So speak, Wolf of Ashward. Tell us who you are and what survived with you. You may choose to speak plainly, withhold, deceive, or attempt to create an advantage through the presence of a story. Well, I'm going to invoke a couple of things here. Can I actually invoke my trouble aspect, carry the burdens of others to detail what transpired with, let's see, with Jory? Everyone trying to ask Wolf to explain who he is and what survived the fire. Wolf invokes his trouble aspect, carry the burdens of others. Invoking accepted, spend one fate point. There we go. Wolf begins to speak, not to just himself, but of Jory's help Edwin's sacrifice burden of knowledge inherited from the Dark Realms. I didn't come back alone. What I carry isn't just a name or a scar. It's what your fire tried to bury. The tribunal chamber remains still. You gain the situation aspect of tensions fixed. May be invoked during this audience to sway judgment or deflect suspicion. Adds the details of the first village in this campaign and what transpired leading up to the Dark Realms portal. He's addressed the tribunal, recounting his journey from the first village to the Dark Realms with details of arrival to Mistland and village of Ravenshade, Tavern Mead and Jory. This led to the ancient ruins, discovery of the portal. He describes the Shadow Wolves, the lost talisman, the descent into fractured memory, culminating in the Echo Trails and the decision not to fuse with everyone's soul. As you speak, one masked figure leans slowly forward, gripping their seat. Another writes something behind their sleeve. A scene establishing the court wasn't prepared for this. You not press your advantage. Ask questions for detail. Okay. Confidently mentions if he is truly the only survivor or descendant of this village that has no name, then what presence does he have over the chamber? Will challenges the tribunal, questioning what right they have over him if he is the sole survivor here at the unnamed burnt village. The central figure of the tribunal responds, voice colder now. You misunderstand. We do not claim you, Wolf. We ask whether you claim them. Second voice. The fire was not only to end something, but to protect the realm from what was beginning. The chamber dims slightly. A ripple moves through the iron floor. Do you wish to inherit the name of Ashford? And with it, its truth. A major decision point arises. Accept the inheritance, gaining legal mystical claim to Ashford and its burned secrets. Reject the name, preventing freedom. Well, I carry the burden of others. I will do a twist here and invoke I carry the burden of others and now update my name to Wolf of Ashford. That the name of the village? I think that's what the name we're going with here. Wolf accepts the ancestry way to the village, invoking I can the burden of others, claim the name Wolf of Ashford. So let's copy that in my character sheet. Invoking accepted, with that one fate point. Then let it be known, I am Wolf of Ashford. If the fire was meant to erase us, I stand in defiance. I carry their names, their echoes, and their burden. The mass tribunal stills. One figure bows their head. Another rises, places a sealed scroll on the black stone altar. Then the line is restored. The house of Ashford breathes again. A new permanent aspect may be created. A higher of Ashford, representing your entry claim with political implications. You'll finalize this one as report. Yes. Yes, I do. Which aspect should this replace? I'm assuming my high concept because that is, let's see. Finalize the claim, this answer title becoming an adopting aspect. History aspects, here it is. Replace, oh wow, that's replacing our high concept. Wolf is no longer drifting, he is now higher of Ashford. So Ashford is the name of the village, apparently. Now hold mystical and ancestry authority tied to the burned village. Others may honor, fear, oppose you when it means. Wolf nods in acceptance, but also questions his, inquires about his parents. Who were they? What happened to them? Let's see. Acceptance inheritance apparent, but turns to the tribunal one final pressing question: what became of his parents? A long pause follows. The lead tribunal member slowly lifts a smaller scroll sealed in black wax and sets it to the side beside the one counting your name. There are two names lost from the records, all but one. Your bloodline survived, but not exiled, but by choice. They hid you in the arms of those who carry you far from the burning. A heavy silence fills the room. They were marked as the centers of the ritual. They tried to stop it. For that, they were consumed by the rest. The scroll burns the faint unburned initials of TW and AW. A quiet moment is offered. You may open the scroll or carry it unopened for a time. I am eager to open the scroll at this moment. Wolf just opened the black steel scroll, eagerly fitting to learn the truth about his parents. The whack breaks open the brittle snap, and the scroll unfolds slowly. Inside, written in old forest script and faded court dialect, is a brief record. Tavian Renhart and Elaria Renhart marked for non-compliance with the Ember cleansing, removed their child prior to the ritual ignition. Ashford bloodline disrupted, name stricken to preserve containment. Steps forward and peering over the shoulder, they saved you and paid the price. A new boost is created, names remembered, may be invoked any scene where your lineage holds sway. You now know your family, and the name Renhart has not fully faded. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Take this title here. All right, last name Renhart. And then I'm going to do a temporary boost here. Let's do this. Let's do temp boost here. So I haven't really been tracking them, but there's definitely a lot of room to track them here. Names remembered. Okay. Wolf closes his eyes to shed a tear and pockets the scroll. He looks back up at the chamber and asks if he may leave with his ally. Having uncovered the names and sacrificed his parents, Wolf quietly pockets the scroll and asks the tribunal for permission to leave the jury. You may go, Wolf of Ashford, but know this, your name is no longer forgotten, and neither is your presence. The others rise in unison, and the chamber dims as it releasing its hold. The gates of Emberwatch open as Jory rushes forward to catch your expression. You found something, didn't you? A new aspect quietly settles in the background. Ashford has a voice again. You are free to leave the fortress, but eyes will follow you now. Interesting. Okay, so let's close the session off. Let's close this session off with a summary, please. All right, there we go. This was session 12, I believe. And this was absolutely intense. No combat, but we have a huge reveal, had a huge reveal, much on the narrative side, and I absolutely love it. I'm glad I threw in those mystery strangers on the hill side, and now we are a name. We have a name now for ourselves, not just Wolf, the Renheart. So that's it. That's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, as always, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.